segmentation. Another huge trend we've seen this year is, you know, I don't even say the renewed importance of segmentation and personalization, but the renewed reminder about why they're important and how hard of work it is to make sure that they're working properly when you need them to. So for this, I'm going to hand it over to Brian from VMI.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, and you know, I think when we look at segmentation for our clients, you know, a lot of what we are making decisions off of in terms of looking at their audience is based off of the first bullet point here, and that is behavioral preference. You know, in all those different ways that you've mentioned in terms of trying to get people to join the file, a lot of them will have a different opportunities to collect information on them. And so that's kind of like that provided preference in terms of someone creating a profile. But what we quickly like to do is build off of that information that's given at that point of opt-in, make some decisions, try and deliver an experience to folks based off of what we can reasonably assume about them, but then quickly be learning, you know, what it is that these individual subscribers are engaging with. Oftentimes we'll find that what someone is actually engaging with might vary pretty considerably from what they've told us they're interested in at the time of opt-in. So kind of making sure that you have all those different mechanisms in place to learn about your different audience, be delivering content to them that matches what they're interested in, but also messaging to them at the right frequency. To your point about about people being early engagers, what you want to really do is quickly learn who those folks are and continue to message to them on a frequency that matches their expectations. Whereas people that are not engaging, you want to pull back on and maybe you leverage for a re-engagement stream that is messaging much less frequently, or utilizing those folks in sort of your programmatic buys and stuff like that, retargeting campaigns off of email. So really how we approach this, you know, it's kind of a tiered approach here. Behavioral preference is the best, single most reliable method we'll use for segmentation. For folks where we don't have any sort of engagement preference, we'll use that provided preference that people have added as part of their profile. And then we'll leverage demographics, geo-targeting, and then obviously an area where Freshdesk has a ton of experience with is on that lead scoring and appending basis. Jumping from segmentation into more personalization, you know, as much as possible, what we like to do is be able to deliver a personalized experience on a subscriber basis based off of different triggers, different engagements. So the welcome series is a really probably the most valuable component. You want to make sure that you're customizing that based off of where somebody opted in. Sometimes that experience needs to look a lot different depending on what landing page they came in on, if it was a part of a contest, or if it was through one of the paid acquisition services to get somebody on the file, and really having that be customized based off of how people engage with that welcome series. Re-engagement is another really valuable one. Let's say somebody has stopped engaging with the emails using a specific triggered flow once they've reached that 45 to 90 days or whatever that triggered mechanism is where somebody stops engaging. And then any sort of on-site engagement are really valuable. You know, some of the more common ones are a browse abandon, cart abandon, post-purchase, but we have clients that are leveraging, you know, somebody printed out something on our site, kicking off a journey for them. If they shared something via social media, that can be a very valuable triggered journey. So really any step or learning that you can take advantage of in terms of an action that someone's taken, developing a customized, personalized experience that will go out to somebody based off of that event. And then jumping ahead, I think we've talked mainly about email so far, but we are seeing more and more of our clients, especially as it relates to their 21 planning, talking about email really as that cornerstone of really driving all of their online marketing channels. So, learning personalization in email is probably the simplest to keep learning pieces of information. Does this person have a child in the home? Anything like that. And then using that to make sure that you're updating all of your different marketing campaigns so that that information might feed a different ad that appears via social media. And similarly, if you're learning something this person engaged with their social media, maybe using that as a trigger that should connect back to email. So all this is happening interconnected and need to be thought through in terms of a marketing strategy across all these different touch points.